Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding shaping, slotting and planing machines. Shaping, planing and slotting can be defined as the process of removing metal from a surface in horizontal, vertical and inclined position to produce a flat or plane surface. Slots and grooves by means of a relative reciprocating motion between the tool and the workpiece. So difference between the three processes of shaping, planing and slotting is that in shaping and slotting, the tool is reciprocating and the workpiece is fed into the cutting tool. While in planing operation, the workpiece it is reciprocating and tool it is fed in. So in shaping and slotting, the work it is fed against the reciprocating tool, and in planing operation the tool it is fed against the reciprocating workpiece. So that is the major difference between that processes. Tool reciprocates horizontally in the shaping process and vertically in a slotting process. So cutting is intermittent in all the three processes because in the relative reciprocating motion, the tool cuts only in forward direction or in forward working. That is called the cutting stroke and followed by the ideal return stroke. So ideal return stroke means there is a no cutting involved in a return stroke. That is called a ideal stroke. Now we will see the construction and working of the shaping machine. The shaping process can be defined as a process of removing metal from surfaces in horizontal, vertical and angular planes by the use of single point cutting tool. So the machine tool used for shaping operation is called the shaper. It is designed for machining flat surfaces on small size jobs. If the size of the job, if it is large, then planing machine is used. The cutting tool held in a ram that reciprocates the tool in a linear direction across the workpiece held on the table of the machine. So the work is fed at right angles to the direction of ram in small increments at the end of return stroke. So in a shaper, the workpiece it is held stationary during the cutting while the tool reciprocates horizontally, and the feed and depth of cut are normally provided by moving the work. Such shaper is called horizontal shaper. So shaper it is a machine tool used primarily for producing a flat or plane surface which may be in a horizontal, vertical or angular planes. So horizontal, vertical, angular surfaces that can be machined by using shaper. Then again it is used for making slots, grooves and keyways. It is used for producing contours of concave and convex or a combination of these. So the working principle of shaper, so job or you can say it is the steps of cutting the material or machining the material on a shaper. So job it is rigidly fixed on a machine table. Single point cutting tool held properly in the tool post is mounted on a reciprocating ram. Reciprocating motion of the ram is obtained by a quick return motion mechanism. As the ram reciprocates, the tool cuts the material during its forward stroke. During return, there is a no cutting action, and this stroke is called a ideal stroke. Forward and return strokes constitute one operating cycle of the shaper. So these are the working steps of on a shaping machine. So this is a diagram of shaping machine. It is a horizontal shaper right from the bottom. So it is a base. On a base there is a frame that is also called a column. On the column, the table, it is mounted by the use of elevating screw so that the table can be moved in a upward or downward direction with the help of cross rail. So the cross rail, it is a part that is mounted on a guideways provided on a front face of the column so that the cross rail that can be moved in a upward or downward direction. And there is a saddle through which that table, it is bolted to the saddle, and saddle, it is mounted on a cross rail. So the two movements that you can obtain in a shaper, table movements. So the table can be moved in a upward or downward direction with the help of cross rail, and the table that can be moved in a cross direction with the help of saddle, because saddle that will move crosswise along the cross rail. Then the top member, it is a ram which reciprocates in horizontal direction. At the end of the ram, there is a tool post or the tool head on which the tool, it is mounted, and there is a tool slide so that you can move the tool in a upward or downward direction. Also, you can rotate the tool or swivel the tool or tool head by using the swivel base. So two movements that you can obtain from the tool head. You can move the tool in a upward or downward direction for adjusting the depth of cut, and you can swivel the tool head in any direction at any angle so that to obtain angular cuts. So classification of shaper. So it is classified according to various aspects. So first, that is based on the mechanism employed for the movement of the cutting tool, that is tool carrying ram. The shapers are classified into three types: crank type, gear type, and hydraulic type. Second, according to position and movement of the ram of the shapers, it is classified in three ways, that is horizontal type, vertical type, and traveling head type. Third category, shapers are classified into two types based on design of the work table. It is standard shaper and universal shaper. And fourth category, that is based on the type of cutting stroke employed. It is classified into two types, that is push type and draw type. So this is the classification of shaper. So this is another diagram of the horizontal shaper. So you can see there is a base, then there is a column, there is a table. On the top of the column, there is a ram which reciprocates in horizontal direction, and at the end of the ram, there is a tool head on which the tool, it is mounted. So regarding the construction, so we will see the parts of the shaper and its function. So main parts of the shaper machine is base, body, cross rail, ram, and tool head. So tool head, that consists of tool post, tool slide, then clamper box block. So first part, that is a base. It is made up of cast iron. It gives support to all machine tools. The bed takes up the total dead weight of the machine and dynamic load during machining operation. So this is a base. So it supports all the other parts and assemblies. It resists vibration and high compressive loads being of cast iron, and base is bolted down to the shop floor through the foundation bolt. Next part is column. So it is a box like casting mounted on a base. It has a ram driving mechanism inside. Two accurately machined guideways are provided on the top of the column. So you can see in a diagram, two accurately guideways that are provided on the top of the column. The ram reciprocates on that guideways. So reciprocating motion of the ram, it is obtained by sliding the ram on a guideways provided on a top face of the column. At the front vertical face of the column, guideways are provided for the cross rail. So you can see the cross rail that can be moved in a upward or downward direction along with the table along the guideways that are provided on the front face of the column. The other side of the column contains levers handles for operating the machine. So the column consists of two vertical walls which are supported on a shaper base. So box-like structure of cast iron and houses the operating mechanisms of the machine. Next part is crossrail. So the crossrail block is mounted on a front two vertical guideways of the column. The crossrail block has two parallel horizontal guideways in the vertical plane and perpendicular to the axis of the ram, so that the vertically upward and downward motion that can be obtained, motion of the table that can be obtained, because with the help of saddle, the table it is bolted to the saddle and saddle it is mounted on a crossrail. So saddle that moves in a cross direction, that is perpendicular to the motion of the reciprocating motion of the ram. So two movements, that is upward downward and cross movement, that can be obtained with the help of the crossrail and the saddle mechanism. Then saddle. So saddle moves on the crossrail block and carries the table, that is a work table, on it, such that crosswise movement of the saddle by rotating the cross feed screw by hand or by power makes the table to move sideways. So with the help of saddle, the cross movement of the table, that is perpendicular to the motion of the reciprocating motion of the ram, that can be obtained. So in short, with the help of crossrail, the table that can be moved in a vertically upward or downward direction, and with the help of saddle, the table that can be moved in a cross direction. Then the table. So table it is bolted to the saddle, receives crosswise and vertical movements from saddle and crossrail. T slots are provided on the, you can see the T slots provided on the table for clamping the work. In a universal shaper, the table may be swiveled on a horizontal axis. So this is regarding the table. So table it is firmly connected onto the saddle and it gets its crosswise and vertical movements from the saddle and crossrail respectively. Then the ram. So it is a reciprocating member of the shaper. It is heavily ribbed inside to make it more rigid. It slides on a guideways provided on a column. It is connected to the reciprocating mechanism contained in the column, and it holds the tool head or the tool head at extreme forward end. So this is regarding the ram. Then this is a tool head. So that tool head that is connected to the extreme end of the ram. So you can see at the top there is a tool feed handle, so that you can move the tool in a downward or upward direction by rotating that lever, so that to adjust the depth of cut, or by rotating the wheel. Also there is a swivel plate graduations, so you can swivel this tool or tool head at any direction or at any angle for the angular work or angular shaping. So there are the swivel based graduations, means there are the degrees that are graduated on a tool head, so that you can adjust any angle for the tool head. So it provides vertical and angular feed movements of the tool. It allows the tool to have an automatic relief during its return stroke. So automatic relief means during the return stroke, the tool lifts in a upward direction little bit during its return stroke. That is called a automatic relief. So it is an ideal stroke. The vertical slide of the tool head has a swivel base. The amount of feed or depth of cut can be adjusted by the down feed screw. The reciprocating movement of the ram and the quick return mechanism of the machine are generally obtained by any one of the following methods. So these are the mechanisms that are used in three machines. So the first mechanism, that is lever rocker arm mechanism, that is used in a shaper, slider crank mechanism, that is used in a slaughter, Whitworth quick return mechanism, that is used in a shaper and slaughter, hydraulic system that are used in shaping, slotting and planing machines, variable speed reversible motor that is used in a slaughter and planer, rack and pinion mechanism that is used in a planer. So these are the few components that is machine with the help of shaper or by shaping process. So you can see vertical, you can machine the vertical surfaces, then angular surfaces, horizontal surfaces that you can produce. You can produce the slots, grooves, etc. Then advantages of shaper. The single point cutting tool used in shapers are inexpensive. These tools can be easily grounded to any desired shape. The simplicity and ease of holding work, its easy adjustment and the simple tool gives the shaper its great flexibility. Shaper setup is very quick and easy and can be readily changed from one job to another, and thin or fragile jobs can be conveniently machined on shapers because of lower cutting forces. Limitations: shape only one piece at a time, not suitable for large parts as stroke length is limited and overhanging of the ram. Then next machine that we will see the construction and working of the planing machine. So planer is like a shaper used for producing plain and flat surfaces by a single point cutting tool. It is used for machining heavy workpieces which cannot be fixed on a shaper table. The basic difference between planer and shaper is that in a planer, the work which is supported on the table reciprocates against stationary cutting tool, and feed it is given by lateral movement of the tool. Whereas in shaper, the tool is mounted on a ram, reciprocates, and the feed is given by crosswise movement of the table. So that is the basic difference between planing and shaping. So this is a planing machine. It is a double housing planer. So bottom part, it is called a bed. On the bed there are guideways that are provided for reciprocating the table. Then there are two columns. On the column there are side tool that are mounted. Two side tools that are mounted on two columns. Then there is a cross rail. On the cross rail, the cross rail tool heads, another tool that are mounted on a cross rail that can be moved horizontally, and the cross rail that can be moved in a upward or downward direction. Okay, so the different movements that you can obtain in a planing machine: the table that is reciprocating, the tools, side tools that are mounted on a column that can be moved in a upward or downward direction, also the tool head that can be moved in a cross direction to adjust the depth of cut, the cross rail that can be moved in a upward or downward direction, and the cross rail tool heads that can be moved in a horizontal direction along the cross rail and also move in a downward direction to give the depth of cut. So this is a 3D diagram of the double housing shaper. You can see there is a base, there is a guideways. On the guideways, the table, it is reciprocating. There are two side tool cutters that are mounted on a column. There is a cross rail that is a horizontal part that can be moved in a vertical direction, upward or downward direction along the columns. And on the cross rail, again, two tool holders that are mounted which can be moved in a horizontal direction. So principal parts of planer, that is bed, table, housing, cross rail and tool head. So first is bed. It is a box-like casting. It supports the column and all other moving parts. Guideways are provided on a bed for sliding table on it. Then next part, that is a table. It supports the work and reciprocates along the ways of the bed. It is made up of grey cast iron. T-slots are provided on a table for clamping the work. Accurate holes are drilled on a table to support or accommodate poppets and stop pins. So that is the adjustment for the work. Then housing, or it is also called the column. It is a box-like structure on each side of the bed. They are rigid and upright column like casting, located near the center on each side of the base. They are heavily ribbed to take up forces. On front face on each housing, crossrail is mounted. Crossrail may be slide up and down. Two side holders are mounted on a column, can be moved horizontally and vertically, on which you can mount the tools. Then crossrail, it is a box-like casting connected to two columns. The crossrail can be moved up and down on a face of the column. Two tool heads are mounted on a crossrail. Front face of the crossrail is accurately machined for sliding tool heads. So you can see the diagram again. And the tool heads. The tool head of a planer is similar to that of a shaper, both in construction and operation. Then next machine that we will see, that is slotting machine. So vertical shapers and slotters are similar to the horizontal shaper, except that the ram reciprocates in a vertical direction. So vertical shaping machine, where the single point cutting tool reciprocates vertically, that is called a slotting machine. So cutting on a downward stroke, so cutting that can occur in a downward stroke, and upward stroke it is idle. Work table specified for transverse, longitudinal or rotary movements. The stroke length, it is a longer in slotting machine. Wide range of operations for internal surfaces as splines, keyways and teeth that you can cut. So in this downward stroke, it is a cutting stroke, and upward stroke, it is idle. So most of these machines are provided with rotary table. So you can see there is a rotary table. Then there is a ram which can be moved in a horizontal vertical direction, or you can say it reciprocates in a vertical direction. At the end of the ram, the tool it is mounted, and there is a column that is mounted at one end of the base. The rotary table can be indexed accurately for various operations or rotated continuously about vertical axis by hand or by power to produce an arc. The table moves on a saddle that slides on a bed and has horizontal adjustments and feeds in two perpendicular directions. So the table, the different movements that you can obtain from the table, that you can move the table, that is called a cross direction, that is towards the column, that is called a cross direction. Then also the table that can be moved in a longitudinal direction, that is perpendicular to the reciprocating motion of the tool. And third adjustment, that table that can be rotated at 360 degrees, or that can be indexed at any angle. The rotary plus two straight line motions of the table permit easy machining of circular, convex, concave and other curved surfaces. The slots and grooves can be accurately spaced around a workpiece. So these are the different parts of the slaughter. Base, that is bottommost part, made up of cast iron. Then the next part, that is a column that is vertically mounted on a base and has guideways on which the ram slides. Then the ram, it is a reciprocating vertically up and down. It carries tool head or the cutting tool at its other end. Tool post, it is attached to the bottom end of the ram and it carries the tool on it. The table, a circular casting with T slots on its top. So movement of the table, that can be linear or rotary. Then the saddle, it is mounted on a guide wedge of the bed. Using saddle, longitudinal feed of the table is given. Then the cross slide, the cross feed of the table, it is given. So these are the different parts and its function of the slotting machine. So the difference between shaper, planer and slaughter, it is given here. So regarding the principle, working principle. So first point, regarding shaper, the work is held stationary and the tool on the ram is moved back and forth, that is a reciprocates across the work. Then in planer, the tool it is stationary and workpiece it is reciprocating. And in slaughter, the work it is stationary and the tool or the ram it is reciprocating. Shaper it is used for smaller jobs. Then for larger jobs, planing machine it is used, and the slaughter it is used for the smaller jobs. It is a shaper, it is a light machine. Planer it is a heavy duty machine, and slaughter it is also a light machine. So shaper can employ light cuts and finer feed. So heavier cuts and the coarse feed that can be obtained in a planing machine, and in slaughter can employ light cuts and finer feed. Only one cutting tool used at a time in a shaper. Several tools that can be cut simultaneously in a planer, and in slaughter one cutting tool at a time that can be used. So shaper machine it is driven using quick return link mechanism. So in planing, the drive on the planer table is either by gears or by hydraulic means, and in slaughter the rams are either crank driven or hydraulically driven. So shaper it is less rigid and less robust. So planer it is better rigidity that can give more accuracy on a machine surfaces, and in slaughter it is less rigid and less less robust. So this is regarding the planing, slotting and shaping machine. Thank you.